For game number 2 of the evening, second game between Hardcore Campers and White Wolf. So, Sig, what do you think campers will be able to do to help maintain a sort of advantage like they had at the start of the first game?
The campers did one thing incredibly well during the last game. Cheney applied incredible pressure in the bot lane, and where they were still able to compensate for that because Caitlyn never really pushed ahead. She never really got those major kills. I think she ended the game with three. And she maintained a constant farm tie with Prowler, not Prowler. Who was the ADC for the campers?
It was their new guy.
Oh, Goonstomp, thank you.
Yes.
Where they weren't able to really win that bot lane, they won in other places, and they made sure that they paid for that focus on the bot lane. So I think if they can make sure that they keep their map awareness up and incredible shot calling, I don't know who's doing that in that game, but they did a wonderful job compensating from behind.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that was really screwing up with campers toward the end there was just the fact that they were ahead, they were ahead, they were ahead, and then there were a couple of pickoffs. You got to be sure to avoid wandering off into the void the way you do sometimes in those situations, where you think you have the advantage. Well, let's go farm a little bit because we're ahead enough that they won't necessarily be rotating as much, and then suddenly you get yourself caught out and you lose some towers and the game inevitably.
There was just a turning point where the smart plays to stay from to stay where they needed to be to prevent that steamroll that we might have seen at the beginning of the game. It was good calls.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like we're going to be waiting another minute here. So while we're waiting, I'm going to hop over to the standings really quick. So with Campers winning that game, we now have a five-way. We have four teams all with 5 points. Obviously, the scoreboard doesn't actually show that at this particular moment because we haven't adjusted the scores at this particular point, but it's worth noting that now everyone's got 5 points. So if Campers can win one more game here, they will have definitely locked themselves in for the. Oh yeah, White Wolf won. Sorry. So White Wolf's at 6 points now. They've definitely locked themselves in for the playoffs. But if Campers wins, they should be able to pull it one out here and possibly get themselves locked in. We'll have to see how the tiebreakers work, I believe.
Yeah, it's going to come down to how we handled how are handled. If hardcore gaming can take one away from this best of two, we're going to have to see what happens in the triple strike versus take the lantern game. If someone's able to walk away with a 2-0 win, they're going to be the ones walking away in second place.
Yeah, we'll have to see for sure. I mean, this is definitely coming down to the playoff shuffles at this point. It's like, all right, who won? Who won against who? Who got the tiebreakers where? Who had the better actual score? Who took two games? That kind of thing. Um,
If if White Wolf can win the second game, that puts them in a clear position to where if it's 1-1 in the next playoff match that matters, take the lantern versus triple strike. They're going to walk into second place.
yeah. So we'll have to see how that works out. It seems like White Wolf is doing some last minute adjustments. That's why we're having the bit of the pause here. I'll just go back to the regular stats screen. And then coming up after this, we do have Triple Strike versus Take the Lantern, which will be a very, very contentious best of two, just to see in terms of standings and possibly even getting knocked out, depending how the wins rates go. So that's one definitely to watch. And of course, Brew City, who unfortunately doesn't have the score to get into the playoffs, still might have the honor of taking a game off of Northern Storm, who has been so incredibly dominant. So we will have to see how that works out. Definitely a lot more of the LCUS to go. And we should be getting this next game started in a few seconds. Also worth noting for those of you who can't see the champion select right now, White Wolf has all Draven faces as their profile pictures, so they're definitely getting into the team spirit.
It's all about that mental pregame. It's an assault on their foundations.
Alright. So I need to change the champ select image really quick here. Before everyone yells at me about being incorrect. There we go. Alright. So we have hardcore campers on the left-hand side and White Wolf on the right. And banning the Anivia out, definitely a good call there. And Sona, of course, being a natural ban, as we have seen.
Not letting that happen again. 11.
Evelyn.
11. Oh, Lord have mercy. Oh, Lord. Evelyn going out early.
Yeah, and you know, once, as I've said time and time again, this is my favorite part about the second game, is seeing how the ban phase has changed. I mean, of course, not only does campers get their bans back, but they also are immediately taking out everything that dealt them so much pain in Game 1.
Evelyn did a whole lot of that. People didn't keep up with where she was, and she's able to capitalize on.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the things that pushed White Wolf through at the end of the last game, was just how good Evelyn's flanks were. Just that she was able to slip through after team fights and pick off retreating champions. I'm going to be interested to see if their next two bans are Alistar and Alistar and Urgot, if White Wolf lets them get them.
I thought Urgot would have been banned out. I'm surprised he made it through.
Yeah, so am I. I'm wondering if their primary concern isn't necessarily dealing with the Urgot, because I mean the Urgot was doing well, but definitely had a lot of support from that Evelyn.
A whole lot of the same stuff, with Varus being picked by Goonstomp and Urgot being picked up again by Prowler. Well, that's new and exciting. Cho'Gath being chosen.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Cho'Gath is a really strong pick, really powerful in the late game. Generally, I believe he's stronger as a top laner, but we've seen him jungle very well in the past. A lot of shuffling going on there. For a minute, thought we were going to see a Taric, but just straight to the Malphite. So this must be a matchup that they were comfortable with in the first game, Urgot versus Malphite. And as long as the confidence is there, you know, we can't argue with it.
No, and Five Loco played Malphite incredibly well, utilizing his ultimate not just for engage but escape. It's a good pick, solid play.
All right, we have the Shyvana coming back as well. Obviously, White Wolf was not that put off by the Shyvana in Game 1, because they were more concerned about banning the Ezreal, Pantheon, and Sona. So we'll see if their bans have any more adjustments. Do take out that Karma. That's definitely a good pick. Karma was a lot of trouble for them in the first game.
Very utilitous champion. The Orianna pick is a big, it's a deviation, but similar playstyle than what we had seen with Anivia.
Yeah, and a lot of that really good CC as well, with her ultimate being able to pull everyone into a small box. They can combo really well with Cho'Gath, so I'm excited to see how that works for him.
Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
I'm wondering if they're going to ban Alistar for this last ban or not. Interesting that they did the Jinx. Maybe they're just taking out the ADCs that they aren't comfortable with?
Maybe. Jinx does play well into Varus, so it is a smart ban.
Yeah.
I must not fall.
You're going to ban out. So Blitzcrank is technically still available here, though that is the last champion that...
Not a problem.
Yep, just taking out all the ADCs. Okay. Alright, so Alistar is still available. Xayah is still available, who of course has been a very strong contender. Alright.
Zyra coming in for the support pick, I believe, as Xayah was picked up for ADC.
Yeah. Zarya... Oh, and Ahri again. Alright. So Ahri once again showing up. And we will see what the last pick here is. Probably going to be in the support role, unless Cho'Gath is support in some strange alternate universe. Looks like it's gonna be Nami.
I like the pick, but I will say there's a lot of wasted potential picking an Oriana in this comp, where if you get dived upon, she's not really going to be as utilitous as if you were the one doing the diving, and this team cannot do. Uh, that being said, there's incredible team fight potential on the side of Bruce City, no,
White Wolf.
Hardcore Campers.
Oh,
White Wolf, thank you.
yeah,
White Wolf.
White Wolf. Yeah, I mean there is a lot of combos that could go off here. You can have Cho'Gath into Oriana into Nami. Any combination of that is really going to be painful and may just shut down hardcore campers regardless of how good they end up being after the early game. A lot of CC, a lot of potential knockups here, a lot of potential pain. Meanwhile, about the same kind, the similar level out of campers this time. We're not seeing too much of a deviation in terms of just their overall team potential, because of course they still have the Malphite, the Ahri, and the Shyvana, and the Varus even. The only real change to their team has been the Zyra.
And arguably, that was a reflex change because Karma's banned out.
Right, exactly. So we're having a very comfortable lineup here for campers, possibly one that they've practiced before, and Wolf has, basically reshaken every die they've got except Urgot. So really interesting to see this sort of thing happen. Generally, you're expecting a big change out of one or both teams, but maybe not necessarily as less of a change as we're seeing here coming out of the campers. I mean, obviously, Wolf probably would have done a similar lineup too if they hadn't gotten their three characters banned out in the first wave by the campers.
Oh yeah, and just because something doesn't work one time doesn't mean that a comp that you've worked on as a team doesn't have the ability to pop off every other game you play with. So it's definitely worth investing in that continual. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to do it better this time.
Yeah, you definitely can't fault them for wanting to do something like that because, after that first game, I'm sure they do really feel comfortable with this lineup because they did so well with it in the early game last time. And I'm sure they just have talked a little bit more about refining their execution, maybe not being so alone in the lanes like the Malphite was getting caught out a couple of times there, to end up having such a catastrophist swing in the middle game, or the mid game, like we saw here.
Yeah, and this improved CC that Zyra provides over top of Karma could be the game changer.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, like we said, there's a lot of team play and kill potential coming out of White Wolf here, especially since we all know how well the Xayah does at just avoiding danger.
And still probably the best CC that an ADC can provide. Incredible team fight potential.
Yeah, so this is going to be rough for the hardcore campers, I feel. I'm sure I have no doubt they have a shot at it, because, we did see how well they were able to coordinate and play at the beginning of the last game. It's just, a question of whether or not they'll be able to carry it on all the way through. And we will have to see with that. Any predictions? You think they'll be able to go 1-1 on this?
For the sake of the spectators, I hope it does go 1-1. It's much more interesting that way. I will say that I do really like the comp that White Wolf have went with this time, despite the Oriana pick. I think if there is going to be a weakest link there, it's going to be the Oriana. She does everything she does in her kit is done by other people on her team, and arguably better.
All right, well, we'll have to see. Here we go into the loading screen as we catch up from our spectator delay into the second game of the night. Since it's pretty much the same team, I think we already know who won the skin war.
Oh, but he switched it up. Darkstar Varus now as opposed to Blight.
Darkstar Varus does give him a couple more points there, but
oh yeah,
I don't know. I don't think it makes up for the rest of his team not bringing much to the game. I mean, just with all the good Shyvana skins that are out there, the fact there's no Shyvana skin is really troubling me. Alright.
Waiting for the load in.
Yeah, while we are waiting, I will fix our screen here. There we go. Alright. And alright, here we go. So, big push down the middle coming out from the campers here. We'll see. Looks like they are trying to do an invade. Really quick one, too. Urgot is going to see this. And everything misses him.
2 whiff skill shots later, nothing happened.
Well, it wasn't even so much even a whiff as just the fact that he was out of range.
Fair enough.
So, counter invade going on now. Varus is going to spot this. Might get some poke on the Orianna here. Might actually take a little more damage than he may have wanted to. Plenty of time to go back, though.
Probably shouldn't have turned back around there.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have. Really scary. Fortunately, up against a couple of low damage early game champs. So, not the worst thing in the world. Shyvana and Malphite are still very committed to stealing this red buff, though.
If not, they might get an Urgot.
Yeah. Urgot just goes and face checks this. He may actually have to burn Flash, and he does. Alright, so this has been doing a lot of work so far for the campers. Good for them pulling this off in rather, impressive fashion.
They do get the red buff, so successful invade there. We'll see if Cho wants to do anything about it.
Yeah, it looks like he is. He's going to try to go and take the red buff himself.
Maybe. No, it looks like he's pushing in and they're going for hyper early aggression.
Might get the knockup. Does get it on the Xayah. Lot of damage. Tries to tank it. Xayah gets away with 37. Alright, so we'll see how this impacts Cho's route. Obviously, you don't want to be incredibly low health at level 2. But we'll see if he's able to come back from it as the game progresses. Urgot, of course, behind in farm, but we saw him get ahead during some early fights, so we'll see if Prowler can continue that trend.
Big poke coming in the mid lane. Ahri into Ori is a very interesting poke match. It's just a whole lot of balls flying everywhere.
A lot of sidestepping going on, a lot of awareness, very important. And Shyvana gets a second red buff. So no red buff for Cho'Gath in this first.
Oh, must be Boko today. Xayah does get poked down a whole bunch, but Nami's healing is just so strong.
Yeah, once again, a lot of question about sustain here, with White Wolf going for a little bit more of a sustained support role, which we'll see if it helps them out or not. Cho and Shyvana are going to meet here. Cho in a lot of trouble, or maybe not. Nope. You really can't underestimate how high of damage Shyvana is at all stages, and Ahri gets Ahri gets first blood yet again. Good job landing those skill shots.
And Cho did blow the flash to get there too, so big costs. Oh!
Xayah in a lot of trouble. Good to get those pickoffs on her before she gets her ult, though it looks like she is going to get away. Flash burned by the Nami. No flash from Xayah yet, though, so she still has that mobility available. Yeah, some really interesting flash trades going on here. Hardcore campers definitely taking advantage of the gains they're getting, but still hard to tell. I'm concerned about this Cho, to be honest with you. I'm concerned that he's going to be too far behind after giving up first blood and just having his jungle route thrown out. We'll have to see if he needs much hand-holding as the game goes on.
There's a big possibility for that, but with the change with his R and his ultimate, once he hits 6, he's able to scale incredibly efficiently to maintain any kind of growth, to try and mitigate any lead that might be had on.
Mm-hmm. And we do see the Urgot has managed to catch up in CS. So good job by Prowler to get back up after falling so far behind from all the damage he took. Though his flash is still down for a really notable time. Nice try to gank here. Does get the knockup. Does get the silence. We'll see a lot of slows going down here. Ari did not have flash available, so wasn't able to get out of there. Good rotation.
And Shyvana was thinking about going in, but
wisely didn't.
Yeah, smart play there.
Yeah, you know, you don't want, when you're level 4, you don't want to look at a team of 3 healthy champions and go, yeah, I can win that. I don't care who you're playing. Alright, so getting some of that, some of those setups, going for the crabs. We do see that Cheney really does like focusing on those crabs, getting control of that vision as much as possible. Trying to sneaky.
Vision wins games.
Yeah. Trying to really sneaky bush play here. Might be able to surprise the Nami, depending how aggressive the Nami wants to be, but I think this lane's too far pushed. Good route. Finally that flash is blown on the Xayah.
Lots of poke coming in. And Cheney, again, maintaining that strong focus on the bot lane. Paid off early game last time.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how it keeps working out for him as the game goes on. Obviously, a lot of the lanes are being pushed up by the campers right now. Varus in a lot of trouble. We're seeing a lot of that hard damage coming out of the Xayah. Ooh, missed Toxic Cupcakes getting taken out, but this bot lane could go really bad really quickly. Good awareness there by the Shyvana, but she's going to be in a lot of trouble because this Cho gets the knockup. Might want to flash for it. Does. Gets it. All right.
I think that was a good use of flash. Making sure you don't walk away empty-handed.
Yeah, definitely. At that point, you know, you've dived so much and you've already lost somebody in the bot lane. You want to get something out of it. Good play there. And good job by the Varus being able to stay away so that he doesn't get picked off as well.
A smart thing to do, and it should always be applauded when a support allows their ADC to get away. You don't want the ADC to fall behind, and he's going to be able to get back to farm break.
This Cho might be in a little bit of trouble depending how this Ari wants to play it. Doesn't decide to go in, instead just tries to steal it the old-fashioned way, but Smite wins games. Ari in a little bit of trouble here. Teleport coming in too, so they're really committing a lot of resources to this gank. We'll see if it works out. Looks like it will.
Oh, and he feasts.
Probably wants to get out of there though. Urgot's really lucky that Varus and Xayah didn't try to commit a little bit more. Because I mean, while he
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, because while he does have, you know, his shield and stuff like that, he is still rather low.
Oh, they are engaging on Xayah, but she is very bursty. I think they might have taken that for granted.
Good flash there by the Xayah trying to get out of there. Xayah, Zarya. So many names. Ooh. Not sure if I agree by that turn, though it did manage to get a couple of tower shots off there. Oh, Shyvana. Shyvana walking in where she probably didn't want to.
Yeah, Cheney feeling bigger than he is right now.
Yeah, so big swing there by White Wolf. A little bit earlier than last time, but still very efficient, taking advantage of the high skill ceiling on a couple of their champions to get a lot of work done there.
Oh, Ari engaging on Ori in the mid lane. Toxic Cupcakes does miss his charm, and it looks like because of that, Ori will get a...
Yeah, so we're seeing a lot of good coordination, a lot of good aggression coming out of White Wolf this game, which was lacking a little bit in the previous game, or at least wasn't quite as executed as it was in this game as was in the first game.
Most definitely, and that could be lesson learned. The early game doesn't have to be a loss.
Shyvana,
Is it?
yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say Shyvana's trying her best, but just doesn't quite have the damage to fight this Urgot head on.
No, and that also brings up an interesting point. Sometimes when you're playing multiple games in a row and you're playing a champion, you reach a certain power level, you only get 5 minutes between the games, so the power spike sometimes you don't feel it fall off.
Especially when the teams are just so similar between these two games. I mean, you're playing literally almost the exact same matchup in the top lane, again with the exact same team lineup, except for of course the Zyra. So it can be kind of hard to get that out of your head and refocus and rescale. Alright, we got a bit of a rotation going on here in the top lane. Bot lane has rotated up. Zyra trying to bait a little bit. Interesting flash there by the Nami. Definitely combining their knockups. Flash there by the Malphite. I'm surprised he didn't ult out of there.
I think he's trying to save that for a team fight, and it looks like that trade went well for him. It's a 1v3 versus 1v2 in the 1v3 in the bot lane.
Yeah, Urgot in a little bit more trouble probably just because he doesn't have as many disruption abilities as Malphite does.
Perhaps looks like he might go down.
Does manage to dash out.
Oh! Prowler does kill the Shyvana.
Little help from the turret there, I believe. Alright, so good job by Prowler, just managing to not only hold a 1v3, but getting a kill out of it too.
Yeah, and you got to pay attention to his level. He had, I think, 3 levels on them at the time.
Yeah, I mean at least 2 levels, if not more than that. Prowler, of course, with all of the kills that he has, is definitely much higher value than anyone else that he's going up against currently. And they have to respect that, and it doesn't seem like they are. Urgot's natural tankiness is really helping him out here.
Just able to 1v2 so effortlessly.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't care. I mean, he has been, taking some licks, but he just, falls back, builds his shield up, and challenges them to come after him. Shyvana really out of position here.
Yeah, Cheney looks like he was thinking about trying to go in after this. Was not in time.
Tries to steal. Did she get the, looks like she might have gotten the Herald.
No, she didn't. She didn't get the Herald. Cho'Gath was able to secure it.
Okay. Oh no, Nami's got the piece.
Oh.
That's what I was looking at. I was looking to see if she'd managed to grab the piece. It was really close. Alright, so they're just going for it at this point. Wolf is pushing really hard with the Herald like they did last game. Probably going to get the second turret here, we'll have to see. Varus is in a good position to deal a lot of damage to it. Big Malphite ult there. A lot of damage being dealt, and Zaya's really low, has to flash out. They do shut down the Urgot. That'll help him out quite a lot because most of the gold potential is in that Urgot. Cho probably going to get away here. Alright, everyone getting away, but they did manage to get the Urgot, like I said. So they must feel good about that.
You want something to show for your work. I thought with the health bars fluctuating like they were, they might have got something else out of that team fight, but didn't pay off.
Yeah, they're going to get at least one turret out of this. Malphite wisely rotates to the top lane and is going to grab this top turret. So that's good. Might be able to get the mid turret as well. Varus is still there, and there are a few healthy minions. We'll have to see how much he's willing to commit. There is a lot of trap potential here. Oh, Urgot is teleporting down bot. Really good. Is probably spotted by this turret, but I don't know if they're paying attention to it. This is going to be huge. Urgot coming in. High damage on the Varus, does manage to get away, but they focus on the support. Go for the squishies. Go for the squishies.
That's right, a kill's a kill.
Yeah, I mean that's something that it seems like campers have struggled with a little bit is being able to focus down squishies in these fights. Alright, so Wolf with a 2k gold lead right now. Gonna get their second Drake. Another Ocean. So they're gonna have a lot of sustained potential. Oh, really good grab there. And Urgot's here.
Stayed a bit too long if they weren't going to try and contest that.
Yeah, not only a bit too long, but also a bit too close. I mean, just with the massive amount of CC that White Wolf has, if you're not either A, keeping it out, or B, willing to stick around and take that CC, you've got to get out of there. Alright, so if you're campers at this point, you gotta just be looking for picks at this point. You gotta see what you can find, or get good angles on your team fights because you have a lot of very stackable ultimates. You get another fight in a lane, don't get ganked from behind. Manage to combine your Xayah and Malphite ults, you get a lot done with that.
I think the biggest turnaround that they're going to need to do is get some vision pushed out. Their side of their jungle is very well, but if they're going to get these picks, if they're going to turn it around, they're going to have to dig in a little deeper with vision.
Yeah, definitely right about that. But I mean, for both teams, the vision is mostly one-sided, where they've got really good eyes in their own jungles, but not much else. So we'll have to see. Cho only has 3 feast stacks. Oh, Xayah might be in a... Yep, Xayah could get caught out here. She is all alone. She does have that high danger avoidance, though, but this could get really ugly really fast. The question, of course, is for who, but it does look as though even with her high damage, Shyvana and Ahri managed to get that to work out. White Wolf, of course, is turning that around, trying to go after the Malphite, who does still get hit, despite pulling off some good attempts at a dodge there. They lose a turret for it, but Malphite's still alive. Probably doesn't want to stick around too much longer, though.
No, not with the machine that is that Urgot. Oh, good.
There we go. There's the stacking ults we were talking about, and good job doing it. Big burst heal, keeping the Orianna alive. Yeah, we see that sustain really work for him. Malphite tried to get something done, but unfortunately just couldn't, and gets eaten by the Urgot like so many others.
He's just a machine. And yes, I think that there's some still play potential to get out of this, but it's going to be really hard. Even if we look at the gold lead aside, it may only be 2.5k gold lead difference. Map control right now is so strong in favor.
Really good flash there by the Ahri, and then landing the charm after it. So they are getting the pickoffs like we suggested. It's just a question of momentum at this point. Because when Urgot's around, I mean, if you just look at Urgot currently, we look at his golds. Urgot is, well, I mean, Xayah is really good too. Urgot and Xayah are both pushing 6,000 when the rest of their team hasn't even hit it yet. Meanwhile, it's Shyvana and Ahri are the 6,000s on the other team. And Xayah's doesn't really have that much gold at all. Zarya, Xayah, Zarya. Too many weird lettered names.
Gotta be different.
Gotta be different. Alright, so Urgot's getting poked and prodded. Definitely got a lot of that health, though. A lot of frozen abilities, a lot of slows coming out of these characters. Urgot with his slows. Shyvana, thanks to the frozen mallet on both of them. Iceborne Gauntlet for Malphite. Malphite just charging in here, but doesn't seem to notice that the Urgot was right there. And Urgot didn't seem to notice him either. Shyvana's really trying to go in on that Orianna. Looks like they're going to get her, but at what cost? That's a lot of damage being dealt to the Shyvana. They got to get out of there. Looks like the Malphite's going to get picked off again for their trouble. There's all those stacking knockups again. Good job by the Xayah trying to keep him alive. Zarya trying to keep him alive. Xayah does come in, takes a lot of damage. Not quite enough, but Ahri seems to be trying to anticipate it. Science trying to close the distance. Ari, you don't want to go that direction, Ari. Ari doesn't, chooses to go the short way and pays for it. Really unfortunate to see. Alright, so Campers needs to hold this, or else they're going to, I think, probably fall too far behind at that point. Try to keep the inhibitor alive. It is a 4v4 right now. Orianna is trying to hold their top lane. They don't lose the inhibitor. Malphite and does not want to charge up there. Looks like they're all rotating over to Dragon, which will be a third Ocean Drake. It is also something worth noting, with all the Ocean Drakes that are out right now, White Wolf is just going to heal up to full health off of that in relatively short order. They don't even need to go back.
Yeah, they're going to be able to maintain this map pressure without A-Bricks.
And it looks like Campers are going to try to go for Baron after this.
I don't know if they have the damage between them, but with the team showing up, yeah, this is something I think they can accomplish and pretty well unchecked.
We'll have to see. I mean, the Orianna's right here. She's going to check this. They're going to see it. I don't know if the Orianna can steal it. She's going to try. Nope.
It was a good try.
Yeah.
She threw out the ultimate, but didn't get it.
Yeah, didn't get it. Cho is soloing the dragon right now. Xayah trying to go back. Probably will manage to do it. Alright, so now we need to see how they take advantage of this Baron buff. This is the best chance they have to get back in this game.
Yeah, and even if they're not able to utilize it to its best potential, they denied it from the campers, which is so important. White Wolf, I mean, they denied it from White Wolf.
So once they actually get into fights, it will be more even for them because the dragons don't really help when it's 3 Ocean Drakes in fights. It's all questions about sustaining, but not when you're in actual engagements. We'll have to see how it goes. I mean, it's definitely also going to come down to not taking as many misplays as they've had before. Good try at knocking up there, but now here come all of the ultimates on top of each other. The knockups, the slows. Good play there by the Shyvana. They get the Scion as well, but they really aren't strong enough to keep this going. Ari is trying, but doesn't quite have the damage. Varus does a really good job there, but gets silenced, gets slowed, gets knocked up. And now we see Cho's just late game monster potential.
Wowie hours, and he just stuck around, was not letting them get away. That's an ace right there, and that's going to be some time to push up.
Yeah, that's a 7-1 Cho'Gath. You're not going to be able to do too much against him if most of your team is half dead.
I don't know, though, if they'll be able to get the inhibitor.
Yeah, they don't really have that much of a damage potential, and Shyvana is up. Urgot TPing in, though, trying to make it happen, but Ari's now back as well. We'll have to see how much they're willing to stop it. I think they should make a move here. They are making a move. Urgot is really low. They might take the Urgot out here for free, essentially.
Yep, and they kept their inhib. Very low, but they kept it.
Alright, good job coordinating there. Interesting sacrifice, but they do manage to get a turret off of it there, so... Well, they could get the Cho. I mean, because Cho may be powerful, but he doesn't have any escapes.
Yeah, once you surround him, he ain't going nowhere.
Alright, so good job, you know, turning something around here for the campers, keeping their inhibitor alive, though there are two wards right next to it. Picking off a couple of heroes too, or champions too, losing a tower. But that's got to feel good after losing an ace, being able to pick up a couple of kills.
Take your wins where you can get them. That's why the turnaround starts.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Urgot's going to eat this Ahri alive, though. Actually, really good snare there by these Zyra.
Applying that pressure in the top lane. Oh, they do get the knock up on Xayah.
Good knockup, yep. Probably going to get out of there, actually. Nope.
Perhaps. Nope,
Just,
does go down,
just barely.
Anna.
Run, Malphite. Nope.
Oh.
Alright, so that's 1 kill for 3. Definitely not what they want. 1 kill for 4 now. Yeah, just an unfortunate lack of coordination coming out of the campers here. It seems like
Yeah, spread a little too thin.
yeah, spread a little too thin, going in when the fights are already lost, that kind of thing.
And when you have the great team fight potential that they have, I don't understand why you call for a 3-2 split. But hey, I'm not the one in the role right now.
And I mean, once again, we've seen several times how good White Wolf's team comp is at stacking their ultimates. We've seen Nami's Ocean to Nami's Bubble, into Zyra's ult, into Cho's knockup, into Cho's silence. It's just almost no one can survive that.
Lots of flashes coming out to try and escape, man.
It's cool how they're still respecting Camper's team comp. You know, because I mean, if you're 10 kills up, other teams might have thought about just doing that in a 5v4, and they might have been able to pull it off. But you know, they know there's a lot of damage potential there. There are CC options. One good Malphite ult, and the game could spin around.
Oh yeah, this is nowhere near over.
A lot of awareness about vision. Dragon coming up in 90 seconds. So
You might want to be careful there.
Yeah, not quite doing that. And then we have the Xayah up here doing a little bit of split pushing. Maybe not the best contender for a split pusher, but definitely doing the work. Looked like she wanted to blast fruit her way out of there, but wasn't available. And a big push from her teammates down the mid lane, trying to distract from the split as much as they can, though Varus dealt with it rather fiddly well. Malphite getting caught off with some slows. Xayah coming back in, decided not to go back and just pick off the Malphite. Oh!
Very good ultimate from Prowler there.
Yeah, Malphite tried to ult over. And
Nami with the cleanup.
Yeah, Ahri caught out of position again. Unfortunate to see that. And it looks like they're going to try to close this out. They're up 2 kills, 30 seconds or so before campers are up to their full power level here. Do get the Cho. Good pickup there. Still down by 1 though. No one really is that weak of a target on Wolf at this point. You have to wait for them to reveal themselves as being able to get picked off.
And it's so hard. I think, honestly, if the game's not over, but if I was going to call an MVP for this game, it's going to be Amaya and the Nami pick. 4-0-17, not hoarding the farm there. Just incredibly strong play with what little resources are available to him.
Right, especially with, like we said, stacking all of those all the knockups that she has available, all the disables, all the healing. It's just all been a very powerful performance and really impactful when you see campers trying to make a move. Suddenly there's a Nami wave sweeping them off their feet. And it looks like campers is going for that Baron again. Looks like they're going to get it too. There is nothing to contest this anywhere. So we will see the Baron get taken out.
It's a very intelligent way to play from behind, is deny those strong game-ending objectives.
Alright, so all 4 dragons have gone to White Wolf. 3 oceans and a cloud. So the cloud is the biggest one in terms of impact, in terms of gank potential, when everyone's mostly at full health in these situations. We'll have to see how that allows them to do some sweep arounds, some workarounds. Looks like there is going to be a fight here. Got to be really careful. You guys don't want to get caught into this.
Too late for that Zarya. Oh gosh.
Alright, Ahri does manage to get out of there. But, you know, once again, they're already at a 4v5 and this fight hasn't even started yet, losing a big part of their CC. Urgot's really low though, or at least relatively low. So they could try to go in on something here. They don't really have there's so much great initiation except for that Malphite, who could get a couple here, but will probably get deleted immediately. They want to try to do it anyway. They don't really have anything else going for them. Wave only hits the Malphite. There's the ult. Big heal coming in, though. Manages to top off several heroes, keeping other ones alive. Malphite is still in it here. Ooh, good pickup there on the Xayah. Ahri thinks she could be getting more, but backs off a little bit. Malphite taking a lot of damage from these Winions. Nami's sticking around, doing a little extra poke. Gonna pay for it thanks to the Varus' power. Good flash getting away from that knockup from the Cho.
Yeah, stayed around a bit too long, and it's always worth pointing out, this Baron buff, they might not have been able to push with it, but it made it sure as heck harder to clear out the wave.
Yeah, definitely. Might be able to stop the... Nope. Almost grabbed the Urgot there. Alright, so good job holding there by the campers. Looked like that could have been a game-ending push, but as you said, the Baron buff managed to help hold it on there. And they had a little bit smarter in terms of who was going in when. They've been caught out quite a few times this game, so it's nice to see what the fights swing their way when they are a little bit smarter about who goes in at what point.
Yeah, they're behind, but they're not out. It's very well done defending.
I think Elder Drake might be the thing that decides this game. We'll have to see. It's going to have such a huge swing on how powerful the push potential is on White Wolf's side there. Malphite trying to farm a little bit. He is nowhere near 16. Might get picked out here, though he does have Flash and his ultimate available. Looks like he did spot that they were coming to him. So hiding in the trees here for a bit. Cho's going to find him, though. Cho, a big boy there at 12 stacks. But Cho just leaves. Ahri getting caught out again, though. Interesting choice that she went that way, considering they knew that the Cho was right there. Getting a lot of damage on the Cho, though. Big ult. Ahri does fortunately manage to avoid it. Shyvana trying her best to stall for the rest of her team. Big knockup from the Xayah. Zyra gets picked off, though. Ahri running for it. Malphite running for it. So they lost 2 there.
Yeah, but Plant Lady did sacrifice her life so that the Fox Vixen could make it out.
Yeah, I mean, there was good sacrifice plays there, but it didn't really seem like a fight that was necessary to happen in the first place, considering they knew a really big Cho was right there. And they had spied out most of the team, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so we'll see how this push goes. Baron has been extinguished, I believe. Inhibitors going down relatively aggressively. All 3 inhibitors should be down soon. Good flash there by the Ahri. Might be able to get away. Not sure why Cho didn't try to kill her there. Might have been on cooldowns. Alright, so
I'm guessing that.
all 3 inhibitors down. Zyra has been silenced, taken out by the Orianna. Urgot really focusing those turrets, not really caring too much about the champions at this point. Big Nami wave, only gets Shyvana. Ahri in a lot of trouble, getting targeted down. Does manage to get away again, though. Good job by the Varus, soloing the Xayah, and is now getting chased. Manages to sidestep really well. I'm just going to watch this fight, guys. Don't mind me. Alright, gets eaten. Urgot gets another really good ult there, this time on the Shyvana. Malphite trying to get away, does manage to get away. Good job by the Ahri managing to clean up that Urgot. So it's a 3v2 right now. Ooh, Ahri gets caught and picked off by the ball vacuum.
Can't juke everything.
Nope. Alright, so Malphite alone. The strength of the Drakes has made Cho already back to full health. Warmog's, of course, helping quite a bit. Malphite seems more content to penguin emote than try to save the game. And that is the end. So, 2-0 there for White Wolf Gaming. Securing their place in the playoffs. Unfortunately, knocking the Brew City Brawlers out. Yeah, so really great job there by White Wolf.
Yeah, huge plays, huge consistency throughout. Just strong all-around performance.
Yeah, most definitely. So then, of course, we do have our next game coming up, which will be Triple Strike versus Take the Lantern. Seems like they're setting that up right now. So we will take a quick, about 10-second break, and then we will jump into the next game. Please stay tuned.